Good evening, everybody. Good evening to you, my viewers, wherever you're watching me from. Welcome to Awakening Life Within You. My name is Nyokabi GK Kamau, and I am your relationship coach. And we have rebranded. This is why we are doing the show on a Thursday instead of a Saturday, and we want to engage more of you. That's why we are doing it a bit earlier than 9 to 10:30. So hop in and let's have all this conversation. And tonight, I am not by myself. I brought my friend so that we could have this amazing conversation on emotional needs. So please subscribe to this channel, share it on your platforms, and invite everybody, and let's talk about these emotional needs and what they are all about. So allow me to invite my co-host tonight, Victorian Katha, who is a mentalist advocate, mental health advocate. And by the way, I'm so excited, Katha, to have you today because it's godly. It's godly because we are talking about emotional needs. We are talking about and these emotional needs and how they affect our mental state and all that. But before we get into all these manenos of mental health and whatever, we need to explain to these guys where we have been. They have not seen us forever. Where have we been? Where have we moved the days? What's going on? So what's going on, Mama?
Well. There's a lot in terms of some decisions being made and growth and nurturing your own purpose. It's very, very important to align yourself to your purpose and know where God wants you to go. So sometimes in certain situations you have to say, okay, this is now where I'm at. This is what I'm doing, and there's some roads that you need to say, okay, this I've gotten somewhere now, and I have to now take off on a different direction. So I think that's also what has been happening throughout the course, because I've also rebranded. Responding to Life turned 5 years old yesterday, and we're still in the whole celebration month. And with that comes a different turn where we want to do some other things differently. And I think that's also what has happened with Awakening the Life Within You, where some things need to be done differently from that angle, and also growing and taking your steps and moving forward in
Absolutely. And I think the big question that people have in their mind is, why did you move from Marriage Connect Kenya to Awakening the Life Within You? And just a little bit before we get into our conversation tonight, is I felt that Marriage Connect Kenya wasn't covering entirely what we are all about, and it wasn't capturing most of the content that I put out there. And this was coming from actually my viewers and my followers, because most of you will tell me, oh, Nyokabi, when we see the name Marriage Connect Kenya, we expect a dating site. Imagine, they expect it's a dating platform. They're expecting the 5 minutes of conversation. These guys are there wondering, hey, this mama, you're talking about relationship coaching, and us tumekuja hapa kutafuta mtu. It's not once that I would get messages on my messenger on that particular platform. People telling me, oh, I'm 40 years, would you hook me up with a 25-year-old? And I'm thinking, Jesus, where am I supposed to get this guy who you want me to hook you up from?
The 40 years old wanting to get... Okay, so that's a conversation for another day. I am a bit concerned about that one.
Well, I would get a lot of those requests and other people telling me, oh, please hook me up with this person. I'm this age. I'm looking for this person. And by the way, it was so overwhelming. So, and I went into a season of wondering, okay, maybe my name and my title of my business isn't really going hand in hand with the work that we are doing. Hence the reason why we are talking about awakening the life within you, because we are all about building meaningful relationships, having authentic conversations, talking about the things that are termed as taboo, talking about the things that people don't want to talk about, understanding self-discovery journey. We take you on a self-discovery journey, understand why you act the way you do, why you behave the way you do, why you feel your partner is neglecting you and abandoning you. Hence the reason of the topic of today, the main reason of the topic of today, and we're talking about emotional needs. I remember when I was preparing for this particular conversation, I say that in my comment, in one of my posts there at Awakening the Life Within You, I say that security and control are some of the things that you need is an emotional need, right? And I had someone ask me, really? security and control is an emotional need. And I was like, what do you think it is? It's an emotional, it's a feeling that's within you that you feel you need this emotional need to be within you. So these are some of the things that awakening the life within you is all about, letting you know what's happening within yourself and rebuilding what's within yourself and bringing it out and making you blossom. If you can understand why you get angry like this, if you can understand why you don't want to call that person, if you can understand why you're always giving everything that you have to everybody around you, then it will help you be a better person, protect yourself, guard your heart, and at the same time, improve the quality of your life. And because this is the month of September in Qatar, we are talking about mental health and
Yes.
mental well being.
Yes.
Because currently, right now, we've seen that hakuna season yenye we have ever had a lot of killing in Kenya like we have had during this pandemic.
Mm,
Everybody's killing everybody.
mm,
Children are killing parents. Parents are
mm,
killing children. Spouses
mm.
are killing each other. And things are getting out of hand as we move on. And everybody's asking, what the hell is going on? What is
And,
happening around us? Yeah.
yeah, another thing to note is also people are killing themselves. That's also another thing to note.
Yes.
One thing that
Yes,
is
and the
very,
suicide rate,
yeah,
yes, and the suicide rate is so high. And that
yeah,
the funny thing about the suicide rates, some of these people who are actually dying from committing suicide, they have attempted to commit suicide 3, 4 times before,
yeah.
but they did not succeed. And people
Mm,
are asking, what could we have done the first time that they attempted? Would we have
mhm,
taken them through a recovery program? Would you have had a
mhm,
conversation with them? Would you have
mhm,
been able to help them to rescue their lives and to save their lives? Because committing suicide is not actually a solution, Kata. What you're
mhm,
doing is that you're transferring the problems that you have to the people that you love. You're leaving them wondering, were they not enough for you? Couldn't they have done something to make you feel better? You leave them with a lot of guilt. So what you've done is that you've transferred some of the challenges that you have and you've given them to your partner. And these are some of the things we want to talk about today. The emotional needs that you have that are within you, that are troubling you, that you're struggling with, that you don't know what to do about, and you're trying to figure out right from left. And these are the things that we want to have a conversation about tonight. So, Nikata, I want to ask you a question. In your own words, what do you
yeah.
think are emotional needs? Because you're co-hosting with me, as we invite people to go to the comment section and let us know, what do you think are emotional needs, or what are these needs? Are they wants? Are they needs? And all those things. Being keeping in mind that this is a suicide prevention month, the whole of September we'll be talking about mental health and mental well-being. Yes,
Mhm.
Nikata.
And one thing to note, let me just first off by start by saying I love the
Mhm.
colors. I love the colors. I love the colors.
Oh,
Fire! They're
thank you.
fiery. They're fiery. Very, very
You're on
fiery. I
fire.
love them. And you see, the red represents love, red represents
Yeah.
danger, red represents warning and importance and stuff like that. It represents a
Mhm.
lot. And I think also with the whole aspect of awakening the life in you, you want to boom, let's do this and so on and so forth. You want to
Mhm.
awaken the life within you, and it really sends those warning signals that, you know what, here we are, this is what we're trying to start, and this is what we're doing, right?
Yes.
So also another thing that I want to make aware is that also at Responding to Life, this is Suicide Prevention Month. We're all about suicide prevention this entire month. So I'm gonna shamelessly plug myself in your Kabi's show and say that on Sunday we have a show on How It Talks that is dealing with suicide prevention, and we're gonna be joined by some amazing people. Now, emotional needs, as it states,
Yes.
it's needs. You see,
Mhm.
when you're talking about emotional needs, some people say that, oh, I need to cuddle, oh, I need to rub, I need a rub. These are wants, these are not needs. These are wants. You want a cuddle, you don't need a cuddle. And that
Yes.
it's gonna soothe me, it's gonna make me feel so good. Needs are things that you probably cannot go without, or things that if you go without for too long, they're gonna mess up with your system, or how you are. So for instance, something like, let's say, food. Now, to just put the whole difference between need and want, right? You
Mhm.
have, right? You can't go without food for a certain amount of time. There's a limit. There's a limit as to when you can go without your food, and
Mhm.
it no longer goes to you want. But the difference with it is the fact that I want pizza.
Yes.
I need food, right? I
Yes.
want I want ugali. but I don't necessarily need to get in that moment. What I need is any type of food. Have you ever been so hungry that anything, even the things that you probably don't like, the thing that you'd never imagine? For me, I can never imagine eating githeri, or I don't like githeri at all. But there's a certain type of hunger that comes where I will not even be choosy on my whether it's githeri or whether it's modokoi or whatever it is. I will have to eat. I
The
will have
minute you have mentioned Modokoi Nikata, I can relate. For me,
exactly,
Modokoi, guy. And being
exactly.
that I went to a high school in Machakos and Modokoi was there twice a week. And in case there are
I
people who are wondering, what is Modokoi? Modokoi is maize imetolewa ngozi.
love. Mm,
it's, it's another level of getheri. It's just another level. But I like the comparison that you have made in
mm,
Kata of talking about
mm,
the wants and the needs, and you've used food. Now, when it comes to it, if I was to explain it a little bit further, a need is something that nourishes you, that
exactly.
fulfills you, that gives you
Exactly.
purpose, that satisfies a hunger within you, that
Mhm,
is that has to be fulfilled. And if it is ignored, it leaves a void that results into toxic behavior, to toxic outbursts, to become somebody who is uncontent, somebody who is living a life without any sense of direction. And that's why you see people who are becoming suicidal. They feel a feeling of helplessness. They
mhm,
feel, I am not useful. What difference would it make if I left this world? I'm better off if I left this world, because they have that need within them that is not being met. And here is where you find a lot of struggle in Kata within relationships,
yeah.
especially relationships where one person's needs are being met and the other person's needs are not being met. It
Mm,
becomes very strenuous and very emotionally draining, because you're trying to stay in a relationship where you're feeling, but there's something missing. You're happy,
yeah.
but you're still feeling lonely, you're still feeling sad, you're still feeling isolated. And that doesn't mean that your partner isn't there with you. They could be within the same room and the same space with you, but you're still feeling lonely and isolated. And these are some of the needs that we want to talk about. And one of the needs Nikata will be talking about today is the need to give and to receive attention.
Yes.
And the mentality around the world, especially the stereotyping, is that women are the ones who seek attention. And women are the ones who want attention, which is not true. Even men, they yearn. And the word I'm using is they yearn to feel that attention, that you're giving them that recognition, that you're seeing them, that they are making an impact in your life, that ako kwa life yako, you
Yeah.
recognize them. So there's
Mm,
that need to give and to receive attention. And it's an emotional need because it's within yourself. It's not
mhm,
physical. You can't put your hands on it and say, like I can say, this is a pen. It's within yourself. It's within your heart, within your feelings, and you're feeling, I'm feeling like nobody is seeing me. When you dress up nicely, if you want to really understand the need for attention, to receive and to give attention, is that when you dress really nicely, the day you have pulled off your best look and you go
mm,
out there and you're walking around and nobody is telling you, Nkata, today you look amazing, especially the people that you love and the people that are closest to you, especially your partner who you're in a romantic relationship with. If you leave the house feeling stunningly amazing, even if the whole world around you tells you you look amazing, you don't
yeah.
get that feeling, because the
Mm,
person who really matters to you did not go out of their way and tell you, hey, you look amazing and I love the way you look. The feeling isn't the same. So every human being needs that to be fulfilled. You need to
and you know
feel, I have the attention of the person I value. Yes, Nikata.
Yeah, and you know what, Nyokabi? I've ever been in such a situation where I'm dating someone and I feel that at all times there was this lack,
Mm-hmm.
right? So it didn't matter,
Mm-hmm.
and this was in regard to how I looked. So it didn't matter how many people told me that I was beautiful. Even my mom could tell me that I'm beautiful. But this person, because I knew how this person viewed me or rather thought of me, that I wasn't good enough or I wasn't in a certain way, it really made me
Skinny
feel some.
enough, light
Yes, I
enough,
wasn't
big
skinny enough.
enough, fluffy enough.
I wasn't
Yeah,
skinny enough. So, and it made me feel some type of way. And everyone, every
yeah,
day, funny thing is that every single day people would tell me how beautiful I am, how gorgeous I look,
yeah,
much, much more.
yeah.
But because never came from this person, and what came out of this
Mm-hmm.
person's mouth was to some degree the opposite, it made me feel some type of way. So I understand that in terms of needing this attention and feeling that there's this lack. I do resonate with that a lot.
And when you're feeling this, like you're not getting attention, this is where you find yourself isolating yourself, and you
Mm,
begin to become very conscious of yourself. You become conscious of how you look. You start
mm,
measuring on the parts of your body that make you very uncomfortable. Like now, for
mm.
example, if I had a part of me that I did not like,
Yeah.
let me use my forehead because it is a physical and an actual part of me that I do not like. That, by the way, Nkata was brought to my attention by my home science teacher in high school, and he was talking about different hairstyles, yes, different hairlines, and he used my forehead to illustrate. I didn't know I had a big forehead until this muse went and let me know in front of the whole class when he was giving examples of different hairlines, where they start and where they end. He said some have hairlines huku nyuma kama hii ya Nyokabi, they have big foreheads, and I
Oh,
was like, my God, from that day, from that day henceforth, I discovered that I had a big forehead, and it became a real issue for me. So you realize that when you're not getting the attention that you seek, that validation from attention, you
mm,
become very conscious about that particular part. So even
yeah.
when you're looking your best, you'll always think maybe they didn't compliment me because they have also noticed that I have a very big forehead, or maybe this hairstyle doesn't look good on me. And that's why you find that most people will always try to cover that particular, they wear hairstyles that cover that particular part of
Yeah.
their body that makes them feel uncomfortable, because you
Mm,
want attention, and you want positive
mm,
attention. You don't want negative attention. Now, I can see there's a lot that is going on in the comment section on YouTube and on Facebook. Then I want to particularly talk about what Jacob here has said. I'll highlight it here. And he's
mhm,
saying, for me, oh, wow.
mhm.
So he's saying, for me, what helped me when I had thoughts of suicide, I asked myself, what if I die? Then whatever I get after death, I even get more issues to deal with. Oh my goodness. That's an interesting way of looking at it when it comes to matters of the mind and matters of your thoughts. That him, he sat down and he said, what if where I'm going is no better than where I am?
Yeah.
And that prevented him
Mm,
from committing that
mm,
suicide. But the question that we would like to ask ourselves, what led you to that particular point that you felt the solution is to take your own life? You know, what pushes you to that point is some of these emotional needs that are so heavily on your heart, especially when they are not being met. And they result to pushing you to a certain place. And the enemy always isolates you, and you feel
mm.
you're alone. You feel, I can't
Very
do
true.
this by myself. So at least
Very,
he had the time to sit down and think about it. Most people don't. Most people just get swallowed by the feeling of, okay, my life is coming to an end. Now, I want us to move on to our next emotional need that we'll be talking about tonight before we go into the other comment. And then we are inviting you to let us know in the comment section before, which are some of the emotional needs that you think they're emotional needs, they are not emotional needs. Do you agree with me and Nikata that to give and to receive attention is an emotional need? If your
mm,
answer is yes, let us know why. If your answer is no, kindly let us know why in the comment
mm.
section below. And we are kind enough to accommodate your opinion. So the other thing, Nikata, we are learning today about our emotional needs, it's to lead the mind, the body. You want to feel that connection between your
Yeah.
mind and your body. And
Mhm.
when I say that, I know somebody is thinking, okay, mind and the body, what's the connection? The connection is this: whatever you think in your mind will always translate to your body. If you're feeling angry, it translates to your facial expressions. If you're feeling frustrated and overwhelmed, even the people around you, they can tell of the energy that you're giving. So as a human being, you're always trying to lead or to be in control of your mind and your body. And that's why you see people are always trying to keep fit, trying to look some type of way, trying to get a flat stomach, lakini sisi ndio tuko with the big stomachs, and you are always trying to justify that need to look a certain way. Now, when it comes to the mind and connecting the mind with the body, if you think you're ugly, when you look at yourself in the mirror, it comes back to the physical
Very
body.
true.
But if you think you're beautiful within your
Very,
mind, no matter how ugly you are, there are some of us who are fearfully made and some of us are wonderfully made. If you're fearfully made, when you look at when you look at yourself in the mirror, so long as it is in your mind, it
Yes,
translates back to the
yes,
physical. So as a human being, we have this need to always connect the two. What is in the
very.
mind to transfer to the physical. When it comes to issues financial freedom and money, you can be so rich in your mind, but it comes to the physical, you don't have it. And that's why you see people like now. There is this Congolese guys. I was seeing another show the other day that they wear Georgie Gobanas, they wear
Yeah,
still who this designer, yeah, they wear this designer clothes. They have a name, and they are walking on the streets, and they are so proud, and they
exactly.
are dancing. But akitoka hapo anaenda kwa kanyumba kanatoshana hivi, like
Exactly.
this. Those clothes, they're hanging them on like a line like this. You're thinking, $100 worth clothes, $10,000 worth shoes, and they're putting them in like a small room. And you wonder why they don't get robbed, because what is in the mind isn't able to transition back into the physical. So, as a
Mhm.
human being, we have a need for that connection. I don't know, Nikata, if you have any thoughts on that particular kind of line of thought.
Most definitely, most definitely. I always preach
Mhm.
about mentality and
Yes,
what you think is what will come. I
yes,
know a lot of people like manifesting. Kwanza pale Twitter, people like manifesting a lot. However, manifestation is not only out of you tweeting something; it's out of you having this need of and desire to have what you're thinking
yes,
manifest into physical, right? And
yes.
it can't just come automatically. It can't, and I
Mm-hmm,
think that's where people also usually have a problem because
mm-hmm,
the need is there. However, there's so much more that process work that comes from you needing something to it's manifesting that I think also we should discuss one day. But yes, I do agree with you that there are people who have that need and then they have the problem of, or rather they have this problem of making the two work together, right? They
and
have the
and
they
connect.
have exactly, they have a problem with making the two intertwine, and this is where a lot of people fail. You see that somebody's thinking of $1 million, but in the physical they're really some they're $1 worth. And I was listening to somebody speak, and he was like, I am afraid that I have been at I've been living my entire life, I think like this, but the life that I'm living does not match to how I perceive myself or how I see myself. Um,
Mm-hmm,
Therefore, I went in to guide them into the steps that are required to um, that kind of life. But then you
mm-hmm.
also have the opposite in your kabi. You have
Yes.
people who are have it all, but then
Mm-hmm,
what's in their mind is probably something completely different. I don't know what example that I could give. You'd see that somebody is very rich, somebody is very happy, and to someone that is the source of not happy. Sorry, somebody is very rich and very wealthy. However, in their mind, what they want is nothing of that. What they want is happiness, right? And true happiness.
yes.
So sometimes when we also look at things and our needs, we could also discuss about how needs differ from one person to another, and
Yeah.
from what on what criteria, or rather what is it that makes our needs differ from one person to the other.
There's a lot of things that make our needs very different from other people. Number one is our personality traits, the
Mhm.
kind of a person you are. If you're the kind of a person who does not really value monetary things and earthly things, then those will not meet your need to be, they'll not meet your, the mind and the body will not go hand in hand. There are people who, that is one personality. There are people who like to be this kind of people. They want to live the life where they are always wakovasha leo, kesho wako na kute na side. The other time they are going for concours. They like, there are those people who are always living life and moving.
The
Yes, to
Subaru,
them, their
Subaru.
mind is we are living the soft life, the high end life. There are those people who are more conservative. They want a family setting. What they value the most is having their partner there, having their children there, and having a meal together. And
Mm,
I remember when I was growing up, there's something that my mom used to say that if you eat the meal together, it doesn't matter whether it has meat or it doesn't have meat. If you
yeah.
cook it with love and then you eat it combined with laughter, it becomes an exceptional meal. Because there's
Mm,
somebody who will eat a pizza or something, the high end kind of foods we think are, or chicken or mutton, and they are feeling it's water. It has no flavor because the
true.
environment around them is not good. So the
So yeah.
emotional needs differ from person to person. Another thing
Mm.
that plays a very key role in the emotional needs differing Nikata is where you are at life. A person who is in class one, their objective is to get to class eight and finish primary
True.
school
True.
so that they can stop being called children. So their mind and their body are looking from changing from wearing the dress to a
Mm-hmm.
skirt and a blazer, and they are
Mm-hmm.
focused on finishing primary school. Somebody who is in campus, their mind is focused on getting a job and getting their own house and starting. They want to
Right.
come from a single room to a bed sitter, from a bed sitter to a one bedroom. Somebody again who is in a relationship, like now where I am at, my goal is to have my own home, have a car at my convenience. The goals keeps on shifting and the needs keep on shifting. But when it comes to the emotional needs that you have mentioned, like attention, everybody desires to be given attention from a child to a grown up. So it doesn't
Don't.
matter at what point of life you are at. You need that attention. And that's why you'll always find your child will always come to whisper at you, mommy, 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 when you have visitors or when you're
Mm.
talking to someone or when on your phone, because they feel now you've taken away
Yes.
the attention from them.
Yes.
You see that now your partner mmekaa hapo kwa nyumba, he was not saying anything to you or she was not saying anything to you, and all of a sudden when you pick your phone to start chatting, all of a sudden they have a story to tell you. So jana nilienda and you're thinking, dude, oh chick, I've been sitting here the whole time, you've not said anything. Now that you seem like you're occupied by something, you've taken the attention away from them, they want you to refocus. So attention becomes a need that crosses across all levels, right? It cuts across age, it cuts across religion, it cuts across beliefs, it cuts across. But now the mind and the body, it goes revolving at the stages of the life. At the stage where you are in life, then the need keeps on evolving, it keeps on growing, it keeps on moving. And now, for example, if I can expand that one for the mind, if you're maybe in the age of 45 and 60, or 45 to 50, and all your friends around you, they seem to be driving big cars, they seem to be living in big houses. Now where you're still living in a rental house, probably in a one bedroom house with your wife and your three children, and you're wondering, what have I been doing with my life? So you get stuck in that state of mind of wondering, why haven't I achieved what the people around me or the people who I went to school with have achieved? And then you start looking at your physical, translating from the mind coming back to the body. You're looking at your life and you're thinking, me, I don't own a house. Hi, me, I don't have a car, even leave alone owning a big car, not even a bicycle. And you get stuck in that state of trying to figure out. So that's the evolving of it. Now, before we go on a break in Kata and come to the comment section and interact with these guys, I want us to go to our third need, which is for purpose, goals, and meaning in life. And I don't know whether, Nikata, you ever thought about this thing. You've ever sat down with your life and you've wondered, what
Hey,
is my purpose? What is my life for?
Nyokabi, I think that is the one need that burns within me and really just pushes my life. As in, if there's anything I live for, is my
Yes,
purpose and my what I'm doing with my life, where I'm going with my life. That is everything that I think that feels so much of my life that it's a
yes,
problem.
yes.
It's I'm that type of person that is just driven by what in God's name is my purpose. What am I doing with my life? Where am I going with my life? What is the next move? Where will I be in the next 5 years? Where am I going to be in the next 3 years? Where am I going to be in the next 7 years? As in, there's a plan. There's a plan, and I need to know everything that I'm doing. How is it going to be beneficial for my future? How am I gonna live this life? That is me. That is
But the big question that I want to ask you, Nkata, is what if what you have lined out or laid out that you will achieve in the next 5 years or 6 years doesn't pan out? Like, for example, those people who register a company with a lot of psych because somebody has told you, register a company, get all the government documents, and then come and I'll give you work. And then you go ahead, you register on a psych mbaka, you've already started budgeting for money you don't even have. You've already started planning and seeing, and you're saying, this is it. Nimeomoka, and then it doesn't pan out as you planned. So what happens? And then whenever you go to church, preachers are talking about, oh, you have a purpose in life. You have a divine purpose. God created you for a reason. Then they keep on adding fuel to an injury. You keep wondering, Jehovah God, what is my purpose? When you look at people like Nikata, the things that they have achieved at their age, you're wondering, where was I? And what was I doing in my life when I was that age, that I did never discovered that I can be a speaker, that I can be a trainer. How comes mimi siwezi ongea kama, so these are the things that we are talking about. And before we finish on that particular need in Kata, I want us to go on a small break and just get
Mhm.
to meet our very own responding to life and not reacting to life. I have started a hashtag.
Here we go.
Oh, oh.
Well, Nyokabe, it seems like our break does not
Yes.
want to happen. Our break does not want to happen.
This is Victorian Kata from
It is
God, what is
summer.
going on?
It is summer. You know what? It's fine. It is
Challenges,
fine.
challenges, challenges of going live. Wacha tuanza na Jacob hapa tusikie Jacob anafanya nini as we get ready to host our very own. He's saying once you get a child, I think it changes everything. The attention you give your other half reduces. Yes, because you want to focus on the child. Ideally, Nikata, in an ideal
Mhm.
relationship, Jacob, the relationship should not change, because the
Mm.
romantic relationship between you and your partner should be constant,
Yeah.
regardless whether you have a child or not. And this comes from being intentional and practicing to walk away. And the people who struggle mostly with this attention division between the spouse and the child are the women, right? And then
Okay.
the men just throw their hands and start saying, mimi sishindani na mtoto, siupatie mtoto attention yote. So you have, as a woman, you have to be very intentional about it. You create time to give each
Mm.
other attention by
Mm.
creating a routine. Let me just mention this, by create a routine and say, by the time my husband is coming home, huyu mtoto amefanya nini?
Mm.
Amelala. Or
Yeah.
we need this particular time to be together. You don't have to do these things at night only. You can also do them during the day. You don't have to, you create a routine of some kind for the child, and you create a pattern for yourselves as a couple so that you still give each other the attention that you need. We have also a comment here from Nora, who is saying that for me, I feel like other people's achievements should encourage you to pull up your socks and not undermine your capabilities. Now, this is a very mature perspective of it, Lucy, Nora, where you're coming from. But most people, other people's achievements are a challenge to them. They
Yes.
feel inadequate and insufficient. And that is why
Mm.
you see people hype particular couples. Oh, these couples, couple goals, sijui nini. But ndani ya mjui what they are going through. They could be wanachapananga hadi asubuhi.
Jana
But
too.
the picture, yes, and the persona they portray out there. So other people's goals and achievements, really, they provoke your need to have
Mm.
purpose, to have goals in your life, to aspire
Mm.
to see something and to move from that particular point. So thank you so much, Lucy, for that comment. And Kata, would you take us through this comment? Yeah.
Yes. I cannot see the comments because my screen
Uh,
is me. But I can see that Wangari Wellness says, this topic, if you can screen that one, this topic makes me
okay.
think to myself. Maybe it
Mm-hmm.
gets noticed and often leads to depression, hence suicide. We need someone
Mm-hmm.
to vent our needs to give fulfillment. To give fulfillment. I think she means to get fulfillment.
Yes. And I think with this Wangari, what she's saying, with the question you are asking ourselves to fulfill this need, do you have
Mm,
somebody in your life who you can share your deepest stories with?
mm.
Your concerns? Can you trust someone? And it's not everybody that you trust with. I normally
Yeah.
recommend you trust your partner. But if you don't have a partner, do you have that friend who you can trust, that you can share your dreams with? Lakini si ule rafiki yangu mpendwa, not that one. Wakusononeka akiona umebarikiwa, wakusononeka akiona mambo imeenda vizuri. We are looking for this friend who is a vision carrier, is a
Mm-hmm.
destiny helper, is somebody who you can work with together. And it has to be, you have to give in your 100 and they give in 100. When it's
Like
one way,
me
when
and
you're
your
the only one
cubby.
who goes there, yeah, go ahead in Kata.
Like me and your cubby. That's what I said.
Yes, you have to give in your 100 and they give in their 100. You have to tell them what you're thinking, and then they tell you what you're thinking. So if you're in a relationship with somebody where it's one way, you're always the one who's sharing. Akisi, I'm thinking about buying a kabit. lakini ile pesa yenye niko nayo haitoshi, I'm thinking about taking a loan. Now if you're the only one who is always sharing, then they're definitely going somewhere else to share what you're sharing. But if
Mm.
it's a give and take, I tell you, you tell me, then you get that fulfillment of that person, of somebody who to share with your purposes and your goals. And somebody
Yeah.
also keeps you in check. You need somebody who tells you, Sasa wewe, you know, snap out of it and come back to this particular place. So you need that accountability partner to work with.
Yes.
And these accountability partners, not to be very spiritual, but they come from God. You have to pray and ask God to give you one. So we have Wangare who is saying, Aish, lack of attention is a killer. Hey, yes, what a two. I have experienced it and it causes one to feel empty. Absolutely, especially from a partner, from a
Mm-hmm.
romantic partner. And can you imagine if you're a grown up and you feel that lack of attention from your partner and it overwhelms you? Imagine a
Mm,
child that you're a
mm,
parent, a child to a parent, and the child
mm.
is trying to talk you. I don't know, there was this clip that was going around on social media of this young boy who used to run to the father all the time and say, Daddy, can we play football? And daddy would say, Not now, son, I'm working.
Yeah.
And then
Yeah.
eventually this boy grew up and he became 15 years. And then the
Mm,
father was coming home and he said, Son, can we play football? And now the son told the father, Not now, dad. I am working. So imagine if you, as a grown up, you feel the lack of attention from somebody that
mm.
you value and love. Can you imagine the effects that it has on children who are
Yeah.
around you? It's really
Yokabi.
important that we, yes,
And I think
go
that's
ahead.
very, very to note, even from
Mm,
a very young age, just teaching kids how to also, because I do it a lot as well, and it's something that I don't feel is okay. And I
mm,
quite can see that pattern in regard to, when they come to you and say, no, no, I don't have time now. I don't have time now. Eventually, it will make them feel some type of way, because when they grow up, I want to hang out with my little one, and they'll be like, it's not now, not now, not now, because I'm doing something, right? And
mm.
that's very important. It also reminds me of Wangari's comment earlier on, that she said, have you seen a man with a flu? The attention he commands is on another level. Do you know? Have you, Yokabi, in regard to your
Yes,
partner, men are the worst with attention when they are feeling, you don't go to just a little bit, just a little bit. Hey, oh, they will be dying. Oh, I need touch. Oh, I need feeling. Oh, I need soap. I need you to cuddle. Oh, I need. Hey, Aki men, men with the flu. Kidogo tu hivi. Oh,
mm.
babe, inua mguu yangu, babe. No, don't go to work right, and you don't have to. You can't go to work because somebody has a flu in the house.
Yes,
What's that, Bali? Babe, no, don't go. I can't. I'm gonna die. There's one.
yes.
Let me tell you, this one who was telling me I can see Angel Capri.
Because they had a flu. Because
Somebody has a flu. I keep it on Angel Capri. Like in Gucci. You're like, what is this?
they
Eh,
thought
eh,
they
eh.
were going to die because they have a flu. But I don't know why is it that men always illustrate this need for attention when they are going through something.
Yeah,
Why don't they show it the rest? I wish they can tell us in the comment section, look, of the
yeah.
gentlemen that are there with us.
Please.
Tell us, why is it that the only time that men show the need for attention is when wako na kahoma kidogo,
Mm-hmm.
or
Like
work is not working out, or they
it's
don't have money, or something
it's
is just not
a
going right. That's the only time you see them.
babe.
Babe,
That's
babe,
when
that I,
you'll be told, no, you can't leave me. Not at this time, you can't leave me. But we can't leave them. We can't live without them. So that's just how I feel.
yeah. I love
Not
I love what Susan is saying. Susan is saying wait until ulale ukiendea maji maji downstairs. Akikuwa naomba anapata zote. Lazima alale na maji utashinda ukiendea downstairs. To clear their throat. I tell
ah.
you, hao watu wanatuoneshanga drama.
Yet
So I
they
tell
say
you,
that we're the dramatic ones. Yet they say that
yes,
we are the dramatic ones. I
yes. But even them, they are very dramatic about these things. They are very, very dramatic. Ooh, Nkata, we are almost out of time. So we are talking
yes.
about another need. I forgot what number we are at. So we are
Four.
talking
Four,
about
you have
the need.
accountability. Number four.
So tuko number 5, tuko number 4 and number 5.
Oh, number four, Sasa. Number four.
We are number 4. We are talking about we have an emotional need for community
Mm-hmm.
and making a contribution. You know,
Mm-hmm.
there are people who think that you find fulfillment in making a lot of money, and you think
Mm-hmm.
that you'll be happy if you make millions of money. You'll be
Mm-hmm.
happy if you have a big house, a big car, but your need is to belong to the community. And that is why you see these wealthy people, they are always coming there with cash and akuja na 100,000. Ndio mpige makofi. Good job.
Yes.
You have
Yes.
done as well. They always want to belong to that community. So when you
Yeah.
recognize that you have a need to belong to community, you need to
Mm-hmm.
belong somewhere. And that is why we
Mm-hmm.
form our two clips. Oh, they're awakening the life clan. Oh,
Yeah.
they're responding to life family. We always want to belong somewhere. The Subaru brothers, the Peugeot owners, Kenya, we always want to belong to a certain community, and we form a certain clips or cousins from Sujui where you are always trying to belong. So it's an emotional need to belong to a community. We are like elephants. We don't want to go on a journey on our own. We want to move in as a group. So ndio unaonanga mtu akianza vita, wacha nikuitia mabro zangu, wewe utajua ujui, wacha wakam, wacha wakam. We always want that community to belong. When the guy cheats, we all gather, all of us, the sassy sisters, akina Victoria tunampata, na akina Eva, we find you.
And
We ask you, why are you cheating on us? And he's only
yes.
dating one of us. So there's that emotional need to belong to a community and to make a contribution. And that is why
Mm-hmm.
you see, whenever there's an outcry in the society, you
Mm.
give even what you don't have. When somebody
Yeah.
comes out and says, oh, I'm going through this, would you help me out? Even those ones who give wakijichapanga kifua huku,
Mm.
they want to make that impact in the life of somebody. So it is a need within us that we cannot ignore. And
Mm.
some of these things in Kata that we are talking about today are the ones that are leading to the things that are happening.
Yeah.
You know, some of the very heinous crimes that are being committed are because of some of these needs that are not being met in that particular relationship, and then this person resorts to committing a very serious crime as a result, because they feel this need, I have it, it's within me. They can't
Mm-hmm.
articulate it, and they don't know how to tell their partner, please meet this need for me. And they don't know how to belong to a community, because belonging to a community, in the Kiku community, we say, "Dogo na makinya." Belonging to a community, you have to show up. When somebody dies, you have to show up. When they are buying a
Yeah.
casket, you have to contribute, whether you have or you don't have. You have to be there for the mashakayas until 9 o'clock, or the vigils until 10 o'clock, so that you can belong to that community and they can
Yeah.
show up for you. Yeah, so it requires work. We have the need, but we are not willing to do the work. I don't know what you think about this community and making an impact contribution with your own words and kata.
Yokabi, that is why we're doing what we're doing, right? That is why we're here,
Yes.
awakening, living here, responding to life. We want to do more. We want to do more, right? And we want to be of impact. We want to create that impact, help people, and so on and so forth. And I also think it goes hand in hand with a need for um, I don't know whether it's altruism or it's just a need to help, right?
Altruism. Siutumia majina simple nikata. What is it, my learned friend? What is altruism?
So
Jesus. It means
altruism is the aspect of being genuinely good and genuinely and cleanly good without necessarily having ulterior motives or without having
absolutely.
an expectation
Absolutely.
of getting something back and so on. So that is altruism. So there's usually arguments in psychology about whether humans are truly altruistic or they have. There's always this aspect of you want to do good because you know that good will come back to you, or then it's not truly altruistic, right?
Yes.
So that's one aspect. So when you think about the whole agenda behind us feeling this need to be communal, to help, to be of assistance, and be part of a community, and so on and so forth, is it because we are seeking that feel good satisfaction within us, or is it because we want to truly be altruistic, or what is it that we really want? So
Yeah. So,
in all aspects there's still that satisfaction that comes within us. Then you think, yes, I did that.
yeah. Yeah. And it's really fulfilling, especially if you're doing it with with a clean heart, with an
Yeah.
amazing heart, it really fulfills and gives you that purpose in life. So there, I want us to move on to the next one because we are almost out of time, and I want us to engage in the comment section and see what's happening
Mm-hmm.
down there.
Mm-hmm.
Like
Mm-hmm.
our fifth one
Yeah, you're right.
is our need to be challenged and to be creative. And that is
Yes.
why, and I think this one has really been portrayed in the year 2021 and 2020 because
Yes.
people have gone out there and they've come out of their comfort zone
Yes.
and they've come up with creative content. They've come
Mm-hmm.
up with artistic ways of illustrating their emotions and their creative minds. And that is why you see there are people who are always coming up with memes. There are people who are always doing stuff on social media and cracking jokes because we have this need to be creative. We have this need
Yes.
to be challenged. And by
Yeah.
the way, for this need for challenge, hii ndio unaonanga mtu anakuja tu, anajua you're not in their league, but anakuja tu, anakupata na anakuuliza mambo madam. The-
Ah, so
Refuse to respond. You will see.
hey. Utaambia kitu kinatoshana na wewe. You'll be told something that looks and is the
Refuse to respond. You will
same size
know
as
that
you.
you have not.
Same size.
Yes, that you have not scratched that need. So the need to be challenged in life. That is why we are always
Yeah.
going to these posh areas and looking at that life and thinking, one day I will
Mm-hmm.
get here. You want that
Mm-hmm.
challenge in life. You want
Yes.
that push, that a little bit of a push. That's why we
Yes.
want to hang out with people who are ahead of us so that they keep
Mm.
us reminding us you're on a race and you're moving towards something. The need for creativity is in each and every person, including those people who say, me, I can't draw, I can't sing,
Mm.
I can't play an instrument, I can't
Mm.
speak in public, I can't do
Mm.
da 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 da. Even you who have not found you the
Yes.
talent within you, even you
Yes.
have the need for creativity. You
Yeah.
just need to find your area. You just need to find the place where you thrive the most. And that's what we are talking about, finding purpose and finding goals and finding
Yeah.
meaning in life. It's within
Mm.
yourself. You always know this one thing that you enjoy doing. If you enjoy talking, make it a career. If you're the kind of
Oh,
person who makes crazy jokes, unakaa hapo ukikaa tu na watu wanaokotwa chini ni kucheka, make it a career. So you have the talent within you. You just need to look for it a little bit closer and you'll be. And by the way, did I mention that the creativity that's within you, the people around you, they always see it? They're always
yes.
telling you, oh, by the way, you're very good at that. But you take
Yeah.
it lightly, They're always telling you, oh, wewe ndio utatuongoza na chorus. But you keep thinking in the back of your mind, I can't sing. Why do they ask you to lead them with a chorus if you can't sing? Right? So they tell you,
Mm-hmm.
oh, you tuchore hii, you're the best person who can draw this. They ask you,
Mm-hmm.
oh, please fix this thing for me, because the people around you are able to identify your
Mm-hmm.
creativity. So if you're struggling within yourself and you're wondering, Sasa, where is my creativity, and that's why I had skipped the finding the purpose and the goal and the meaning in life, because I wanted to combine it together with the need to creating
Mm-hmm.
to creating, is that you look at the people around you. What is the one constant thing they're always complimenting you about? I'm sure other people always tell you, oh, you're a wonderful MCA, please MC for us. Oh, you're a wonderful creative person, please create this for
Mm-hmm.
us. Oh, you're a wonderful person at this thing, you're a good host, please host this for us. Because people can identify that talent within you. Now, capitalize. It's not, and on that note, I want to say this, it's not enough to just have talent. You have to
Yes.
back it up with knowledge. You have to back it up
Exactly.
with understanding. You have to
Yeah.
go to this university of YouTube and
Mm-hmm.
master the craft, master the art. And it's not enough to just do it the Kenyan way,
Oh,
hii shananigania Kenyan way. You have to target international levels. You have to think beyond the
yes.
Kaziro circle. So master the art, improve the art. If you are very artistic, go to the
Mm-hmm.
University of YouTube and learn how to draw. There's this guy, by the way, there's a time that I was in school, there was this guy who taught himself how to, ilikuwa javelin, ama ilikuwa shot put. I don't remember whether it was javelin or shot put. Yeah, and he learned
Okay.
on YouTube. When YouTube
Wow.
wasn't what it is today. Yes, and he went to the Olympics, he went to the nationals, and he won. And when
Oh,
he
wow.
was asked, and he was a Kenyan, it's in history, you can Google and find out. If
Mm-hmm.
those people who know who he was, niambieni hapo kwa comment section. He is called who? Yego. Yes,
Mm.
I've been told he's called Yego. So he learned how to do this thing on YouTube and he became really good at it and he even won in the Olympics. Imagine that.
Wow.
So it's
I think
not enough to just have talent. Yeah. Go ahead,
I
Nkata. You think?
I see a few more comments. I'm just gonna quickly run
Yes.
by them, if that's okay,
All
Nyokabi,
right. Yes, go ahead.
before
Go ahead.
time up. So Angari says, thanks for touching on that part on purpose. I'm currently at that point in my life and I'm really feeling lost. I know you know how I
Mhm.
mean. Yes. Will I get as rich
Mm.
as I am in my mind? Yes. Very much
Yes,
yes. And this is
absolutely.
where Nyokabi is saying that you have to back that up with much, much more. So you have to
Mm.
back it up with those sleepless nights, honestly. Kuna wengine wetu hatulalagi. Let me just tell you the
Yeah,
truth.
yeah.
And I know it's not necessarily a good thing to say that I don't sleep and so on and so forth, but that's the sacrifice that I've chosen to make. I don't want to sacrifice in other things, for instance. So I've chosen to sacrifice on that aspect and say, hey, I can sacrifice on these hours because I've realized that I can function well in a, without that much sleep, but that is not healthy. So you have to find ways in which you can be able to sacrifice on some things. If it's a social life just for a few months, then putting all your focus in whatever it is that you really love doing. And how to find your purpose, I think we'll do a combined discussion on that one time, because it's very, very important. That is a whole topic that if we open it up right now, we will stay here for a very long time. So I think that is one day where we'll dedicate it or do a series on it to be able to talk about how to find your purpose and also include a few more people. Now, I can see Benson in the comments and he says, can you read the comments, Nyokabi?
Need for attention when we are not feeling well. I think
Mm-hmm.
we have, oh, it's the answer that you were asking for a gentleman to tell us
Yeah.
why they need this attention when they are not feeling well. And he's saying that he thinks we have been raised not to show emotions. Absolutely. We are socialized, men are socialized not to show emotion. It's termed as a weakness, and emotions are termed as a weakness. However, when you are unwell, it
Mm-hmm.
buys you a short period when we are allowed to look, feel,
Mm-hmm.
and show weakness. Actually, that
Mm-hmm.
makes a lot of sense. And it says that
Yeah.
I don't know about you, but eh? I'm milking that opportunity. He's milking that opportunity to maximize on his need for attention. So I guess, by the way, what this explains for me, Kada, what comes to my
Yeah.
mind is
Yeah.
it explains why men don't want to show their need for attention other than the time that they are going through a difficult time, because it now justifies or explains why they need the attention because they are feeling unwell. So it's the socialization that plays a very key role. I don't know what you think. What are your thoughts, Nikata, on this particular comment?
I think it makes a lot of sense, especially coming from a man.
Yes.
It makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
So on a normal day, of course, if a man is okay, you will be questioning Allah. Oh, what do you want? I'm the one who's supposed to be
Yeah.
coming to you and then doing all these things. Here you are. Well, what are you trying to do? But when
What are
it
you
comes
up to?
to exactly, what are you up to? Be a man.
Mhm.
Those toxic things that we say to men, ati be a man. That is what that is
Mm.
what they used to. But when now they're
Mm.
sick, I mean, they of course they will milk that situation of. Now I'm sick. You can't ask me, so I will ask you, and you'll get
For
tired.
the
Now you
attention.
I will ask you for the entire, if it's 3 years since he was sick again, I will ask you for the entire 3 years until he gets well again. All those days that I've been well, I will ask you for all those 3 years, and you will treat me the way you need to treat me. But I understand
This is
completely.
amazing. But let's encourage these men. Women, we love vulnerability. I don't know whether we women we need to let men know that we love vulnerability.
Mm, mm.
We
It
we
is,
connect with vulnerability.
yeah, yeah. It is a very,
So
sorry.
yes, go ahead.
It
It's
is
a
a
very
very it's a very good thing. It's a very attractive thing in my opinion, because at times
yes,
you realize that, let's say he's not sick, right? And he's going through something, and you can clearly see that the person is very, very anoma. They are very they are having a hard time. But then instead
yes,
of speaking out or telling, this is I am feeling like this is stressing me, it doesn't have to be something big, honestly. It could be something that
yeah,
you've experienced at work, and you come back home and you realize this sometimes instead of speaking it out, they're busy hitting all the doors in the house, and toughening it up, and sinongeleshe today, and so on and so. You're like, Allah, you can just tell me that this
Yeah.
and I can be able to connect to it. I can be able to talk about it with you, and we find a way to make it better, right?
Yeah.
What do you
So I
think,
think
Nyoka?
it's very important that men understand this thing that we have put out there as women, that we have an issue with men being vulnerable. I think it's outdated and it's backward,
Mhm.
because in the world we are living today, you want somebody who you're connecting with at an emotional level. You know
Yeah.
that they also have bad days that they just feel like, I don't want to talk, I don't want to engage in a conversation, I don't want to answer all your questions, I don't care how your day was, and it's okay to be in that state. So we
Mhm.
want that vulnerability as well, because when you're unwell and you're over seeking the attention, it becomes overwhelming and it becomes irritating. But if
Mhm.
you're getting it always, then the relationship has an opportunity to evolve. And that brings us to our sixth point, Nikata, today, of emotional needs, and it is intimacy. Intimacy. And when I talk about intimacy, people always assume I am talking about bedroom matters, which is not the case. This is not what I am talking about. When I talk about intimacy, I am not talking about bedroom matters. I am talking about conversation. Can you have a conversation with somebody and just laugh? And that is why you see that people who don't want to go home in the evening, they want to go somewhere and socialize and talk about nothing from 6 o'clock all the way to 11 o'clock in the night, because there is that need for conversation. So intimacy isn't just only about bedroom matters. There's the intimacy of intellect. You can have an intellect conversation with somebody and you feel connected to this person, and it brings the two of you together. There's intimacy in the sense of you can I want to move from the conversation and develop it a little bit louder, and make it a bit deeper. There's intimacy in the sense that you can trust your fears with this person. You can trust your vision and your goals and your hopes with this particular person. And it becomes very challenging when you lack that intimacy, especially with a partner and with friends as well. There are friends who are one sided. Whenever you meet them, they're talking about themselves. Oh, I did this. Oh, I did that. Oh, I bought that. Oh, I went. Oh, I got. They never give you a chance to also come out and express yourself. So you lack that closeness and that oneness. You lack that intimacy. You lack that bond. So it's very important when you're in a relationship with someone that you get that intimate connection, conversation, sexual intimacy. Nikata, help me with others. They have gotten lost out of my head because you disappeared in the middle of the Which other levels of intimacy are you looking at? Let us know in the comment section.
Have
Which
a
other things do
physical,
you classify
emotional,
as intimacy? Yes.
have physical, emotional, spiritual, mental.
You're going through them so very fast. And there's somebody who's thinking at spiritual intimacy. Yes,
Yes,
you
yes,
desire to be in a relationship with God. This is why you're always going to church every Sunday and
yes.
singing worship songs and lifting your hands up like this. And you
Let me tell you
desire an intimate. Yes.
the most beautiful thing is when we are praying in church and somebody holds my hand, as in
Yes.
ananishikia tuombe pamoja.
Mm.
That is the most beautiful thing ever. That
And
is the,
it's so intimate and heavenly.
it's as in it
Yes.
is so lovely. Mimi kama wezi nishika mkono tukiwa tunaomba. Have a big problem. I need to feel that. And then not even going to church, but even in the house, if somebody tells me, babe, we have to pray, we have to now do this thing, and I will love to lead you in prayer, and I would love to us to start, and so on and so forth. That is the most beautiful thing ever, Nukabi. I
Yes, so there are different levels of intimacy. There is relational intimacy, having
Mhm,
fun together. This is a person who you can go out with and have so much fun. You see, these are the people who you can watch and enjoy with them. So see at Mekapo muna watch Lion. This is why are we watching these lions? guys. So
Mm-hmm.
that lion is going to eat that. Yani,
Yeah.
you tell them, oh, let's go for a walk. Like me and somebody I know, we always have that intimacy area is a challenge because that's mimi, I'm a lazy ass. I don't want to go for the walk. So intimacy is a need that is there,
Yes.
spiritual, financial. You want to
Mm,
be intimate with your finances. You are not
mm,
always chasing to make ends meet.
mm.
Finances bring fulfillment in your life. Have you ever known when you have a dead budget? The dead budget is the budget which comes, unapata 30,000 na zinaisha zote. The
Yeah.
minute they hit the account, it's like 5 minutes ago you had 30,000. 10 minutes now you have no 30,000. There's that lack intimacy of finances, and it feels so bad. You're
Mm,
thinking, oh my God, I don't want to work like this anymore because you're
mm,
looking for that financial intimacy that you still money pesa inakaa kwa mkono, right?
mm,
So intimacy cuts across a lot of things, and I think the most challenging intimacy one we have been shared with by Eva is this recreational intimacy in relationships. Can we
mm,
hang out together? Can we
mm,
have some fun? Can we go to the bush together and picnic? Can we go to a
mm,
rhino charge and drive cars zikiwa kwa matope? Can we have fun together?
mm,
Ama will you just be screaming like a slave queen? Oh my God, this place is so muddy. Or when the curtains like this, you're screaming. Such kind of recreational intimacies are very important, and it
mm,
is a need. So if you have a partner who is always asking you, hey girlfriend, let's do this together, and you're always saying no, or hey boyfriend, let's do this together, there is an intimacy that you're not fulfilling. Now, to quickly run because we are out of time, there's
yes.
intimacy for status, there's need for status. You want
Mm-hmm.
to be in a certain level in the society.
Yeah.
That's why kila mtu is trying to be famous on YouTube or on TikTok, because everybody wants that status of I'm a celebrity. Look at
Which you
me. I
meant,
made it in this life. There's need
which you
for status. There's need for safety and security, especially
meant.
in relationships. And this is very important. We had saved it for last, but Jesus, we are out of time. There's need for safety and security in every relationship. Child to parent, parent to child. You need to feel secure within the relationship. In employment, from boss to employee, they need to feel secure within their place of environment. They need to know that next month they'll be able to pay their rent. You can't keep somebody feeling uncertain, unamthreaten kila siku, wewe nitakufuta kazi boss, utajua ujui. That need for safety and security. If you have a partner who you today they're in a relationship with you, tomorrow they're writing you a message ati to break up, ati ama tuachane, sasa unashinda sasa huyu. They're always making you feel uncertain, unsure. They don't give you that security and that safety. So these are emotional needs that we as human beings have within us, and if we can point them out, then they can be met. If we can articulate them, then they can be met. Instead of throwing a tantrum atuongoje ukuwe na homa once a year or once in every 3 years, let your partner know, hey, I need
Yeah.
affection, I need attention, I need you to
Yeah.
respond to me. Instead of interrupting a phone call between Nikatha and Nyoka, just say, hey babe, ukimaliza na Nikatha surudi hapa tu, we hang out. Those kind of things. Be vulnerable and make those emotional needs, because they are there and they are real. So there's somebody who's saying, life is saying, let me highlight this one because it's a beautiful one. He's saying that intimacy in friendship is a big one. It's a very big one in all levels of friendship,
Yeah.
including parent to child, child to
Mm,
parent, boss to employee. Yani it cuts across. That
mm.
in that intimacy is very important. So Nikata, give us our last remarks. I don't know whether we can still play the no, we can't play it. So
No,
tell
no.
us what you're doing at Responding to Life tomorrow, and let's invite everybody to join us.
On Sunday, we are having Suicide Prevention Month. September is Suicide
Yes.
Prevention Month, and we want to discuss suicide and the causes of suicide. We are going to discuss it all across board. I think we've set aside 1 hour for this conversation. However, I have a feeling that it's gonna move on over to maybe an hour and a half instead of an hour, but it's a very important conversation. We're going to have a mental health practitioner on board, Eve. Myself, I'm going to be on board. And we have a lady from the UK, Sharifa, who's going to be on board. And we're going to be discussing this in detail. Now, do
Mhm.
not forget to join us. Do not forget to join us. We will be live from 7 p.m. Central European time, which is also 8 p.m. East African time, and that is 6 p.m. GMT. And also, aside from that, Responding to Life has gotten new shows. We also will be hosting Wisdom Wednesdays, which I know Nyokabi cannot stay away from. Um, and we'll be hosting Wednesdays. So Wednesdays will be every week, Sundays are every second week. And of course, we have Awakening the Life Within You on Thursdays, when Nyokabi is hosting, and I will be somewhere. I will be somewhere close by. I won't be too far. I won't be too far on Thursday. So
Yes,
in any
yes,
case, I might be popping in sometimes and then popping out again. But if you're here, if you're from Responding to Life, I can see also some few people from Responding to Life. Please do subscribe to Awakening the Life Within You. And let's support Nyokabi as she grows and also teaches us a lot about relationships. Maybe if there's somebody I go and run to about relationships, it's Nyokabi. It's Nyokabi and Susan. Those are the two people I know that I can run to when it comes to matters relationships. Hakuna mwingine. You see how Nyokabi was saying that you need that person to tell. It is Susan and Nyokabi.
yes.
I can't talk about my relationship with anybody else. Nobody else.
Yeah.
It's Nyokabi and Susan, and that's just it. So if you want to find somebody to talk to, please, Nyokabi is here. Susan is also there. For her, she's specializing more in marriage. But Nyokabi, our relationship coach, she is there for friendships, for intimate relationships, and all sorts of relationships. So please go on, subscribe to her channel, subscribe to her on Facebook, everywhere. And they're doing very great. They're doing very great work, which we very much appreciate. So we're very lucky to have them, blessed, not even lucky, blessed to have them. And for everybody in the comment section, thank you very much for joining tonight. Now, my name is Victoria Nkata, and since it's not my show, I cannot close the show. So, Nyokabi, go ahead.
You almost. I was going to punch you. You.
No, but Nikona Heshima,
So,
Nyokabi, I have respect.
so for me is to thank each and every person that has stayed with us for that 1 hour. In fact, I've seen that there are people who are here through the whole hour. So ours is to say thank you very much for the support. We don't take it for granted. We truly appreciate and value your viewing us and staying with us. For those guys who are able to go to the comment section and participate in the conversation, we appreciate you so much because you're the ones who are making this conversation what it is. Thank you so much for joining us. Those that were able to share, especially those guys that joined us from YouTube. Oh wow, you guys have puzzled me. I didn't think actually that I would have anybody joining from YouTube, but voila! See the kind of God we serve. Please remember to subscribe. The subscription is free. By the way, tuliambo tusemanga it is free. Statistics say that people are not subscribing because they think they'll pay. For YouTube, subscription is free. So remember to subscribe if you like this kind of content. Share with your friends and share with your loved ones and let them know. Follow me on all my social media platforms. I always have a different conversation every single day, especially what we have talked about today, emotional needs. I have been sharing out through the whole week some very interesting questions that will help you answer the question that do I have someone who is meeting this emotional need for me? Can I say that I'm giving and receiving attention? Can I say that I'm connecting my mind with my body? Am I able to connect what is in the mind in the physical and I can see what I'm yearning for? Are you able to find the purpose and the goals and the meaningful in life that you so desire? These are some of the questions that I've been talking about through the week and I will continue to talk about until Sunday. So please don't forget to follow, subscribe, and leave your comments there for me to respond. I will personally respond. So mine is to say good night. See you on Thursday, same time, same place, same way. Authentic conversations and building meaningful relationship. This is awakening the life within you. Thank you so much for joining us. And Kata, say bye bye.